Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Agadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone rule well, and citations to the elect that pushes truth in all sincerity. The water Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, for allowing me to do another video. Today's video, I want to talk about Space Force being deployed to the Middle East. Alright? So, the video, okay. This video is basically going into, United States, they deployed, okay, the Space Force, alright, okay, and on to their first mission, okay, alright. So, hey, these devils, alright, they're not playing around, man, when it comes down to the military, okay? They're not playing around, okay? Okay? This is their first mission that they sent, okay, the Space Force on, alright? Okay? You know? So Esau, he's making sure that his Space Force is all good, all components of his military is all fine, you know? Okay? And now he's like, okay, I got my Space Force already. Now let me send them in to wreak havoc. Let me send them in to do their thing. You know? You know? So this is just more war. This is just more updates, okay, of the Lord. All right, continue to push the spirit of war out on the earth. Okay? So let's read a little bit. U.S. Space Force begins its first mission in the Middle East. The 20 troops embarking on the mission are unlikely to be over the moon. Instead, they're heading to the Arabian Peninsula. They say it like they can get to the moon. The U.S. Space Force has deployed soldiers to a vast new frontier, the Middle East. And you really know the United States is always in that region, trying to control that region, you know. Okay? A squad of 20 core space operators has been stationed at the Al Udeid Air Base in Kuwait in the unit's first foreign deployment. Their mission is to confront new threats in the region from Iran's missile program, okay, as well as attempt to jam, hack, and blind satellites. So, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you know, continuing to push the spirit of war, you know, and Esau is just, you know, he's getting his military all up to par, okay? He's testing out, you know, trying to get his space troops, you know, trying to get his space troops some some experience points, some action, okay? You know, start to wreak havoc on the earth. So now the U.S. got their Space Force out there, just more war out, okay? So let me read another article, a little bit on this one. This one right here. So the U.S. Space Force has marked another milestone in the history books. First official deployment of its troops, and it's not to the moon. 20 airmen assigned to the 16th Expeditionary Space Control Flight and the 609th Air Operations Center at Al Udeid Air Base, Kuwait, transferred into the military's newest branch during enlistment or oath of office ceremonies earlier this month, according to a news release. The airmen are in organic space career fields such as space operations and space systems operations, officials said. those participating in today's ceremony are not only joining our nation's newest service, they are joining this service while deployed in defense of our nation, says U.S. Air Force called Todd Benson. Director of Space Force for U.S. Air Force's Central Command in the release. They are the first members of the United States Space Force to be deployed in support of the combat operations, he said, of the September 1st ceremonies, which marked the start of the transferring personnel into the 6th military branch. Okay. So just getting a little background on that. The 16th Space Control Flight hails from Peterson Air Force Base, Colorado, which hosts a robust space mission. Okay. Airmen have routinely supported exercises and deployments for soldiers who rely on space assets on the battlefield, according to satellite communications and other networking sources. But airmen who've deployed for the latest mission anticipate watching technology and tactics involved as the U.S. race to thwart adversary efforts, according to the release. Yeah, so it's just going to continue on, read the rest of the article. But basically, they're proud. They're proud on them going to the first mission. They're proud on them saying the 6th branch of the U.S. military out in Esau is he's going to do damage with his 6th branch, okay? He's going to do damage with it, okay? All right, so he got his guys ready, sent them out, now getting them XP points, experience points, okay? All right. So, war is in the air, okay? So this is just an update, okay? All right, of more war being spread on planet Earth. This is just another update, okay, of Great Babylon, all right, taking another step into fighting, okay? All right. The Space Force is one of the first mission, okay? All right. And, yeah. So let's get these scriptures. This is Joel 3:2. I'll also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel. Now, when it says plead, doesn't mean that the Most High is going to be begging, okay? He's going to be judging them and putting destruction. That's how he's going to be pleading with them, okay? All right? With destruction, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Okay, so the Lord is gathering everybody to the valley of Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat meaning Yahweh's judgment, okay? All right? You go into the Hebrew, it means basically Yahweh's judgment, okay? All right? The Most High's judgment, okay? All right? We continue to see activity in that area, okay? All right? Zephaniah 3:8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh, until the day that I raise up to the prey for my determinations to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. Okay? So Yahweh Shem Shai, he's continuing to gather these nations. Okay? All right? And everybody's going to try and show out. They can say, oh, I have this new weapon. I have this weapon. I have this. Okay? I got this tactic. I got this way of fighting. Everyone's about to show out in the Middle East. And the Lord's going to just jack them all up there. Okay? Everybody go to battle. in World War III, okay? All right? But the Lord's determination is to gather all the nations so he can judge them and pour out his fierce anger, you know? Isaiah 14:13. For thou hast said in thy heart, I'll send into heaven. Okay, this is Esau. Okay, now right here it says Lucifer. Now when you go into it, okay, basically Lucifer meaning light bearer. Okay, these Illuminati. Okay, all right, these guys that deal with witchcraft, the elite. Okay, all right, the elite dealing with dark magic. Okay, all right, the higher ups, because that's what they do. They worship Satan to the highest degree. Okay, these guys, all right, believe that they have the true knowledge and true light. Okay, so that's what the Lord is calling them, Lucifer. Okay, all right, you know, let's talk about Lucifer. Okay, let's talk about Esau. All right, okay. For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahweh. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. So Esau's goal is to ascend very high. Okay, he wants to be the big top dog who has all the nations, China, okay, Japan, Russia, all right, France, Spain, okay, all these places submitted under him. He wants to be the big guy, okay, all right, you know, but all in all, the elites are the ones that actually lead everybody, okay. So Esau, all right, the leader of Esau being the tribe of Amalek, which is a so-called Jewish man, okay, all right, these elites, okay, who are Amalekites, who are so-called Jews, okay, all right, these guys, all right, they lead the planet Earth, and they want to continue, all right, to run everything, okay. These elites want to continue to run everything and have everybody submitted under their foot. They want to have every single country submitted under their foot, okay, including what you will call the regular everyday Edomite, okay, because Esau doesn't care about his people. He wants to have the regular everyday Edomite under his foot, okay, all right. The Edomites that are mid-tier, that have quote-unquote some type money, okay, all right. The elites want to continue to rule, okay, but all in all, Esau wants to obviously want to be the top guy, okay. Esau wants to be the top guy. He wants to exalt himself high, but this also is going into Esau, all right, trying to go out to space, okay. Esau, all right, indulging, okay, in space affairs, in terms of him trying to do all this measuring, him setting satellites, okay, all right, him coming up with this space force is obviously him, all right, fulfilling prophecy of going even harder and putting more effort into space endeavors, okay, all right. So that's why I got the scripture, because Esau, all right, in this space force, okay, all right, it goes hand in hand, okay. The Most High, okay, he prophesied that basically, it's prophecy, okay, that Esau, okay, was going to go into space in terms of throwing those satellites up there, okay, because Esau himself he can't go to Mars. He didn't do all that extra stuff, okay? Him talk about going to the moon. Esau is not on that, okay? All right? There's something called the Van Allen belt, okay? And the Van Allen belt basically is an invisible force field that keeps everything in, okay? All right? It's around the Earth. Now, when you check up, if anyone has ever passed the Van Allen belt, okay, basically the facts is that it says basically no one can't and no one has never ever passed the Van Allen belt ever in history, except for that one time we went to the moon. Come on, man. No, Esau's a damn liar. He's crazy. But plainly, this scripture is talking about Esau trying to exalt himself, as well as Esau being into space, okay? Him putting those satellites, okay? All right? Him trying to measure, doing all that, okay? All right? So the Space Force, okay, is part of that, all right? It's part of this prophecy, okay? You know? It's part of him being interested in space affairs, okay? It's part of it, okay? Like I said, mainly it's talking about really in the 1960s when he threw up those satellites up there, when he was on his space race against Russia, him, you know, getting into space at that time period in the 1960s, that era. That was really when this prophecy, okay, went into pure full fruition, okay? But he's still interested in space, and he's still going hard in it. And this Space Force is proof of that, okay? All right? So war is in the air, and it's going to continue to be pushed. So I hope this lesson is edifying. Shalom.